Hello and welcome or welcome back. My name is Marvelous Marva, and today I wanted to talk about the waves of life. So, whenever times are really bad, sometimes we can kind of get absorbed in those moments, and we forget that on the other side of that, things are going to be amazing. So I have an example, and this is a real life example, and it was just yesterday. So I was working my normal job, and it started off a little bit rocky, and I was thinking to myself, wow, the first customer that I've got, they're kind of like having a bad time. And I was like, whew, it must be retrograde. So I went on with just thinking that it was retrograde, and plus I was having a lot of technical issues. Like, first I couldn't log into an account that I needed to log into, and then second, my phone was taking forever to send text messages, and then I was having trouble with my camera. It was like setting up to take a picture, but then it would kind of just like time out, and then it would pick itself back up like after the picture, like after I moved my phone away from whatever I was trying to capture. And so I was like, retrograde is really retrograding today. That was yesterday. And I thought about it as after I got off the phone with the one customer that was having a bad time, I thought to myself, and I was like, I noticed how I was when I was talking to her, and I noticed there were moments where I almost felt like I was feeling her feelings, and I was like, you got to separate yourself from this, because that's not your, that's not your pain that you need to carry. That's someone else's. What my job is to listen and to try to like take care of you however I can, but not to take on your feelings as well. And so I noticed that I took time to like notice in the moment as it was happening, like, wow, I feel like my heart might start racing, and I calmed myself down. I brought myself back to myself, and I handled her. But by the end of the call, after I hung up with her, I told myself, it must be some real good stuff about to happen, because normally I don't have interactions that feel like that, where I have to pull myself back from feeling what someone else is feeling or getting heated. And I'll give an example of what I'm trying to say with that. So say, for instance, you're talking to someone and they start to disagree with you, and you can tell in their tone they want to be combative or argumentative. Instead of you like leaning into that and being combative back with them, you might feel like your ears getting hot, or your heart racing, or your palms sweating. You feel like frustration inside. You may not communicate it on the outside, but you can feel like something's off on the inside of your own self because of the interaction that you're having. So I was able to recognize all of those feelings, pull myself back, and then come back in retrospect and realize that it's, again, just the waves of life. Yes, there's retrograde. Yes, things are going to, cosmically not go the way that we want it to go. But on the other side of that is like the paradox of life. Like, you won't know what it feels like to have frustration, or actually you won't know what it feels like to have happiness and have things go your way without feeling frustration and things not going your way first. We have to experience like the good and the bad. There's no way to kind of escape it. And for anyone who thinks they need to like escape it and go to whatever D's, and I mean like 5Ds, 3Ds, whatever you want to call it, whoever needs to go to those places, you're kind of just forgetting that you can just be right here, be present with whatever is happening. Ride the wave, know that it's going to be okay. Separate yourself from that. Don't take on anyone else's emotions. But also, have compassion and empathy and things like that, normal things that we should be doing with each other as humans. But just to know that on the other side of it is going to be like good things. Like nothing stays the same. Change is always happening. We're constantly in a circle. It's just going around and around. So you have a bad day today. Tomorrow you have a wonderful day. Now, there are some people that could have a bad day and stay with that and just keep on like dwelling in it. For instance, maybe like a Groundhog Day, where you have a bad day and you just keep on having that same day over and over again until you realize, oh, if I let go and just like really pay attention to what's happening, oh, I don't need to be rude to this person back. I don't have to judge this person as being, upset with me. Like, you can pull your emotions back to yourself and not get heightened because of what else is happening on the outside of you. Inside of each of us is literally just peace. Like when we're just still and with ourselves, it's peace. When we interact with each other, it can, turn into like a little bit of chaos. And chaos is okay. Like we can't have the good without having the bad. And I would say like the younger version of me was so upset with this fact, this idea that why is the world like this? I remember being married years ago, and we would always say, me and my old partner, we would say to each other, man, every time we fix one thing, something else breaks. Like shit's always gonna hit the fan. And it was so frustrating because it was always true. I didn't have the awareness back then that I have now. Like we've all gone through like these moments of going inward and actually realizing that this is what it is. This is reality. And yes, we can try to say, oh, well, we can just like positive our way out of it or ignore things, but there will still be a wave. How we respond to that wave or react to that wave is what pushes us to the next part of our journey with more ease and more grace, with less feeling the frustration, because we understand that this is a constant thing. When things go down, things will go up. It's the wave. Imagine yourself riding a wave. It's just like that, or riding a roller coaster. When the roller coaster goes all the way up to the top, it's not just going to stay there. It's going to come all the way down, and you're going to feel that exhilaration, and you might even want to get off that ride. And then it's going to settle down at the bottom there, and you're going to be like, thank God. And then it might surprise you again and go back up again, and you're like, no, I said I wanted to get off. So yeah, that's kind of what life is, and that's what I wanted to talk about in today's episode. So I hope that you got something from this, maybe even had like a little chuckle to understand that we don't even have to take any of this serious. Like life is serious enough by itself that we can just look at it and experience it and be here with it and not try to leave. There's nowhere to go. No one knows, anything. None of us know anything. Give ourselves that grace right there. No one knows anything, even the people you think that know everything. People know things about things, but no one knows everything. And I think that's freedom right there. So wherever you are, if it is morning, noon, or night, I want to wish you a good one. Please feel free to subscribe. I put the links in the description of today's episode. And I love you so much. Until next time.